All right, this is no longer annoying, and now it's completely frustrating. The Hero 10 1.0 firmware is garbage in my opinion, and I'm gonna tell you why in this video. So let's back up a couple of weeks. If you've seen the video, I'll leave a link up here. I had a problem where after 6 months, this camera started recording in-camera audio only instead of the fancy lav mic that is in my helmet when I ride my motorcycle for my vlogs. That was a problem. So I did a bunch of research and I figured out that using the media mod and switching the camera modes, it would automatically go back to in-camera audio unless I unplugged the mic or turned it off, turned it on, yada, yada, yada. You want all the details? It's in the video that is now disappeared. I will leave it in the video description of this video below. Also, if you've upgraded to 1.50 on the Hero 10, let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious to see if anybody else has had a problem with this camera and that. And also, the remote. So I stayed on version 1.40 of the Hero 10 firmware for a long time. After having the in-camera audio issue, I decided I was going to throw caution to the wind and do an update. And hopefully in this video, I can share some wisdom with you and hopefully prevent the same problem for you. Because let me tell you, it sucked. Today was a day of frustrations. And I have another video, it's a vlog coming out on that, but this one is all about the Hero 10 and how I got it back to, well, how I got it back to 1.40 really. But the context I think really helps. So in this case, I updated to 1.46 thinking maybe it might fix the in-camera audio issue. It did not. It actually incorporated a new issue where it didn't want to connect to the remote anymore. Yeah, it really sucked. It would disconnect during recording, between recordings. It was not fun. I do not like the extra frustrations when I'm trying to vlog. I just want the cameras to work. GoPro, why can't you make them work? So on December 14th, I noticed that GoPro announced and released version 1.50 for the Hero 10. What I didn't know is it came with an upgrade for the remote to include quick capture, which I don't use, don't want to use, have zero interest in. I realize other people are different. They like quick capture, great for them, crappy for me. Because as soon as this paired with this, they clashed and kaboom, and it was not fun anymore because they hide the update to the remote in the GoPro Hero 10 firmware. It's actually a really neat system because you have your camera. This is obviously, it wasn't connected to Wi-Fi. It was away from the house, but it did update the remote while I was standing there on the side of the road, which was great. However, as soon as it did, it bricked my camera basically because it would try to start quick capture on here, which was turned off, so it didn't work, or it would start recording immediately, but it wouldn't record on the Hero 9, which is over here. And yes, it's on an Insta360 selfie stick. If you've been watching the channel any length of time, you know why. I'll leave a link up here, but it's on that. And it's great. If you mount it right, you can access the battery and not have to take it off the mount. And it just goes on my motorcycle and I'm good to go. But again, focus, John, focus. So now I'm riding down the road and I can't get the cameras to sync up and record and connect to the remote, and it's getting really frustrating. And it's 38 degrees with 15-mile-an-hour winds. Not the ideal time to have bare hands trying to fumble futz around with these damn things. So I got mad. And on the side of the road, I actually did a factory reset. Now, again, if you've been following the channel, I always recommend doing a factory reset of a GoPro right after you do a firmware upgrade and then resetting all your picture settings and connections and all that stuff. That usually works. However, in this case, it did not fix it. I'd already done it after the 1.50 upgrade, but it was the first time connecting to the remote and now I had problems. So I tried to reset the remote. Here I am sitting on the side of the road, repairing cameras, repairing remotes, just resetting everything, trying to get it to work. I've got content to make. So I know I'm ranting a little bit, but it's well-deserved, GoPro, you earned it. So now I'm really not happy, and I stop on the side of the road again, at which point I decide, well, The difference is I had the auto idle timer, whatever setting it's called, on the GoPro, turned to like 5 minutes or 15 minutes. Let's do away with that so that they're always powered on. Because the only way to get it to work was actually to power on the Hero 10, power on the Hero 9, power on the remote, connect the cameras to the remote, and then go ride. I don't like wasting extra battery juice. I understand that in some cases it might not burn much, but if you're on a motorcycle, everything's bouncing around, and it burns up more juice just keeping stuff running. That's my experience. If yours is different, let me know in the comments below. So I left the camera on for the rest of the ride. I left both cameras on actually, and the remote, and the next 5 clips or so that I recorded were fine. So I told you I downgraded to 1.40. Yes. And it was far more painful than I ever could have expected. GoPro, if you want to improve your system, have a page somewhere where somebody can download all the back firmware upgrades for your cameras in case of stuff like this, because it made my cameras useless to me, which is, you know, kind of the whole point of being a motovlogger, right? Having cameras that work. Like I said, I do manual upgrades most of the time. If you search the interwebs for, you know, download GoPro backup firmware and a version number, you may or may not be lucky enough to find the software that you're looking for. I don't know the legality on it, so I won't walk you down the path of doing that, but I will let you know that if you do an upgrade, I highly recommend that you know, do it manually. So you can backfill it if you need to. You can downgrade, go to the older stuff because it might work better, which is what I did. I did it to the Hero 10. I got it, and it was back to 1.40. Tested it out with the remote. Guess what? Didn't fix it. Ha, shocker, right? The remote's still on version 2.0.0, and I don't know why they have 2 periods in that and 1 in the cameras. Maybe it's a differentiator. I don't know, but that's how they do it. Didn't fix it. It was obviously something in the remote, trying to do the quick capture thing. Luckily, I had a .bin file I had downloaded to upgrade that remote to 1.2.0. We're now on 2.0.0, but I had to backgrade it. So the manual process is simple. It's the same as the cameras. You download the update, you put the update in an update folder, and then you turn the camera on and it does the update. In the case of the remote, it's a little bit different. You just have the 1.bin file, you drop it on your SD card, and you might be able to see it there. Ooh, yeah. Can we go into macro mode, please? Thank you. There's macro mode. You might be able to barely see the SD card. So you take the SD card out, plug it into your computer, download the bin file to it, and then once that's done, you can go ahead and start your camera up again. When it pairs with the remote, it will start updating the remote. In my case, it threatened to brick it. Yes, I swear to goodness, it tried to brick both of them because they got caught in a loop. And the update said 0% for like 10 minutes. So I powered off the remote and the camera, powered them back on. They came back up with the same update screen. And then after like the 3rd try on the remote, it came up with a put camera in pairing mode screen. So I was like, what do I do now? So I turned the remote off, turned the camera on, let it sit a second, went into connections, told it to pair with a remote. Then I turned the remote on, it paired, and it updated the remote. So what am I left with? I'm left with a Hero 10 on 1.40, a Hero 9, I think it's on 1.70, and a remote on 1.20. And that is the most reliable firmware setup I can think of and muster at this point. I am very, very frustrated with GoPro. I think that they put Hero 11 software out for the Hero 10, but it doesn't play nicely. And I do know that they've done some running updates to the hardware involved with the Hero 10, because in a couple of their release notes, it's like, works better with manufacturing changes. Well, that's code for, well, we changed something in our hardware and now it works better with it. Yeah, thanks guys. In the meantime, I do not recommend going anywhere above 1.40 on the Hero 10, even if you have this in-camera audio issue, because of all the other issues that have been added. And that is not a good thing. GoPro, fix your stuff. I don't know what it is. You've got like 4, maybe 5 platforms to support, and that's it. And it's just one hardware setup per camera. It can't be that hard. I'm in IT, and I have to support more than that. So you've been warned. You're on notice. So anyway, I'm pretty mad. I'm gonna go watch some more YouTube and calm down. In your case, if you like this video, you can boop the like button. If you like what I'm doing here, you should hit the subscribe button because I got a lot of awesome content coming your way. I think it's awesome. Hopefully somebody out there agrees. And in the meantime, I will leave you with this, which is the last video I did on the Hero 10 and the in-camera audio. So go watch that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.